Cheers, everyone. Welcome. We are in Paris. Actually, we're at the Paris Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, and this is a great place for food and wine.
I would absolutely agree. And we are going to take you on a visual and gastronomical tour.
All right, now Paris is one of my favorite hotels in Vegas. It offers some nice touches that you would kind of get in Paris. The registration area has a touch of the Palace at Versailles. It's a compact casino, so you're near everything, and it has lots of energy.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and they've got a replica of the Eiffel Tower, which is very cool. And, you know, as you're pulling in, you really feel like you're pulling into someplace on the Champs-Elysees. And as you mentioned, the registration does look kind of like the Palace Versailles. And then they've got, you know, your quintessential French artwork hanging in the different areas. And, you know, you can kind of get that whole vibe and feel of Paris. And of course, there is plenty of great food. Just walking down the Le Boulevard, you see plenty of restaurants and shops, and they're all French themed. I mean, they've done a really great job. I have to mention too, the rooms here are also wonderful.
And you end up speaking really good French here as well, I've noticed, because you did Le Boulevard, wonderful. And if there is one buffet that you've got to try, it is the Paris buffet.
Yes, and you are a buffet expert, so that is really saying a lot.
Yeah, and you get the flavors of France. This is more than just Paris here. This is the flavors throughout the whole region, and it's a really good buffet. And we should also say that if you just like buffets, period, don't worry about it. The Paris buffet has a traditional fare for the traditional buffet eater, even if you don't want to go for the French food.
Yeah, and it's all the flavors of France. You know, they've got, you know, your fish provençal, it's your carved meats and things like that. You've got unlimited champagne, which is actually sparkling wine, but since we're in France, we'll just call it champagne. Then they have made-to-order omelets, which are very well done. A good assortment of toppings and ingredients that you can choose from there. They have, you know, your traditional nice sausages. They also have eggs Benedict, things like that. And then, of course, made-to-order crepes, which are fabulous. This is my favorite thing.
Yeah, this was really good, and just remember, this was a Sunday brunch buffet that we went to. So at evening, they probably have some different dishes there that would also be of French cuisine. But this was a lot of fun, and it was a lot of fun watching them make it.
Absolutely, yeah. And this was a mushroom truffle with spinach, and it was very, very good. The crepes are probably my favorite thing to have on the buffet there.
And you can also get dessert crepes as well that are very sweet. We didn't have any of them because we opted for the more entree fare.
The savory crepes. And they also have a great seafood assortment, both hot and cold. Here we had an assortment of traditional French fare. We had the cassoulet, not a traditional chicken and white beans, but this was with pork and beans. There you see the Lyonnaise potatoes. And this was some great andouille sausage that was very spicy and delicious. And these were wonderful mussels sauteed in a big pot with butter and garlic. Those were very yummy as well.
And then, of course, they had the traditional desserts of France. This was a creme brulee, and nice stuff. Good stuff there.
Yeah, some eclairs and little pastries that you see there. This was a caramel sauce. You know, if you like desserts, there's plenty to choose from.
And next we went to Mon Ami Gabi. And now if you want real authentic French food, this is the place to go.
Oh, absolutely. You really feel like you stepped into a French bistro when you are here. From, you know, they have all of these great wines on the wine cart. They have that great Bloody Mary cart, which you'll see in just a little bit. And, you know, the staff is amazing and friendly. It's a beautiful place to be inside or outside. You're right across from the Bellagio and the great fountains there. So if you want to sit outside, it's just very, very serene and fun.
And inside you feel like you're in a little Paris cafe.
Yeah, you really do. And so we actually had some great wines there. We had the Mon Ami House White, which was really good. And we also had the Mon Ami House Red. Both are very good. And the House White is a Chardonnay grape. It was a Chablis. by Louis Latour. And they make a great Chablis. And then we also had the red, which was a very beautiful blend. And we enjoyed both. Both went really well with all the food we had, and both were very affordable, to be quite honest. If you go there, get the house wines. They'll pour them off of that great cart, and they'll pour them right for you from the bottle into the glass at your table. So it's kind of fun.
And very traditional of France and Italy. The house wine is usually the best one.
It absolutely is. Yep, and that's exactly what they've done here.
Now the food, well, this was outrageous. This was fabulous.
Oh, it really was. You just can't stop eating. You want to eat more and more. We had the escargot,
Which became escargot.
very, very quickly. We had it with the delicious French baguette, which was perfectly cooked, and the escargot was just garlic and buttery and garlic and buttery. I can't say enough. And of course the parsley mixed in there made it nice and fresh too.
Luscious, sinful. Yeah, you definitely want to go back for more in this. And again, we just got appetizers and we were pretty full.
Oh yeah, and you want to use your bread to sop up that amazing sauce. This was incredible. This is a warm goat cheese with a tomato sauce. The tomato sauce was tangy. They serve it with, again, another amazing baguette, and they put that same escargot sauce, the garlic and parsley and butter, on this bread. I mean, you died and you went to food heaven with this. That goat cheese melts in your mouth. It's just so succulent and tangy, goes great with the tomato sauce, but you've got to get this if you go there.
Yeah, filling, but you didn't feel heavy.
Right. It was light. It was almost like it was whipped. The warmth of the goat cheese kind of combining with the tomato sauce and the bread, and that great layer of garlic and butter and parsley on the bread. Just great French flavors. And then you pair it with either one of those wines that we had. It's really a great flavor combination. Just absolutely delicious.
And you really understand why this is a staple for so many people when they come to Las Vegas and they want French food. This is the place they go.
Absolutely, yeah. And Mon Ami Gabi has been in the Paris Hotel since the Paris opened.
All right, then we went to Gordon Ramsay's place, and it's a steak place. And again, Gordon was outrageous. The flavors, the vibe here are fabulous. Again and again and again.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's got the Union Jack up there. It really is an invasion of British flavor. And, we got to do a little Gordon everywhere we go, every chance we get. So, he's perfect to be in the Paris Hotel as a steakhouse. He combines the British flavor just perfectly in there.
But you have to wonder if the Brits vote for Brexit, can he still stay there? I think they're going to let him stay there.
I think they'll let him stay there. I would vote yes, personally. I'm pretty sure they won't be losing out on a Gordon Ramsay restaurant, that's for sure.
We also had some of his specialty cocktails.
And this was delicious, very fresh and refreshing. It's called Farm to Shaker, and it's crafted by Amanda Cooper, who is one of the bartenders there. And they put together fresh cucumber and sage with lemon juice, Kettle One, and finish it with Saint Germain.
And this was the Rosemary Sparkler.
Yes, it really was very delicious as well. It's yuzu combined with house rosemary infused Bombay gin, rosemary syrup, grapefruit bitters, and then topped with some bubbles. So it's very refreshing and clean and delicious. We loved it.
Actually, and this was one of my favorites of the night. This was the onion soup with Welsh rarebits, or as I call it, onion soup with wabbit.
Well, it really was delicious. I mean, that broth, you could tell it had just been cooking for hours, maybe even days. It was so rich, and then the rarebits were crunchy and delicious.
And Gordon Ramsay, he does mac and cheese really good.
Oh, absolutely. This was so good. Again, it was a mac and cheese with truffles, but he also added peas in there, and those fresh peas really give it a clean and fresh flavor that you're not expecting, and a little different kind of a bite when you bite into the peas compared to the soft macaroni and cheese. The sauce and the cheese was just to die for.
And it was hot.
True Gordon Ramsay style.
All right, I take it back. This may be the hit of the night. This was sriracha roasted broccoli.
Oh yeah, it was so good. And we're guessing they kind of tossed the broccoli in some olive oil and sriracha. Who knows what other goodies they threw in there, but it was really tangy. It had a little heat from the sriracha. And then, pièce de résistance, they put a poached egg on it. So of course we couldn't resist it. It was absolutely phenomenal.
And then he hits us with beef Wellington.
Yes, well, and that, if you are a Gordon Ramsay fan, you know this is one of his signature dishes, and it did not disappoint. We have been dying to taste this for a while now, and it's basically a filet mignon cooked medium rare, and it's cooked inside a puff pastry. That was perfectly cooked too, and the skill in this is cooking the meat medium rare and getting the puff pastry perfectly done as well. And then there's a layer in between the meat and the puff pastry that they spread on before cooking it that is called duxelle, and it's mushrooms and mustard and a whole conglomeration of just wonderful, delicious spices and ingredients. But this was phenomenal, and as usual, Gordon Ramsay delivers one of our greatest steaks ever.
He's just showing off because the degree of difficulty of this is incredible, and he nails it every time.
And we finish things off with this very cool whiskey and wine cocktail. It's whiskey and Pinot Noir and then cherry hazelnut bitters.
And it's rare you actually find a drink where they combine hard liquor and wine, and this was superb.
Yeah, crafted by Liz Cooper, another bartender there.
So we highly recommend the Paris Hotel and Casino.